So welcome to the instructional handover video for the Bessica E435. So starting from the passenger side, we've got your gas locker. So they just twist to release them from the clips, and then it will lift up with the returning hatch. We'll just lock it in place there. You've got space for 2 bottles, and your regulator's just located just there. To the side of that, we've got an access panel into side. So that's where the jack is on this particular one, and access to the underfloor storage area from inside the vehicle. In front of the electric step, we've got the drain for the wastewater tank. You can just pull the handle to open it and push it through to close it. Got the electric step. Also got an awning fitted to this one, a Fiamma one. And on the back, we've got the bike rack. So it would have been a modification by the customer, and a reversing camera to the top just up there. On the driver's side, we've got your toilet cassette. So to gain access, you just need to press both of the buttons in. That will give you access to the toilet. Lift up the little handle and that will slide out nice and easily. If it doesn't slide out, just make sure that the blade valve inside is in the right position, and I'll show you how to do that when we come to going inside. Heating system, electrics, you've got your main point just there, and you've got your vent for your Truma heater. Now when you're running on gas, you'll need to remove this cover. On electric, you are okay to leave it in situ. Filling up the fresh water tank, just open the filler point there using the key, and just use a hose pipe, generally food grade hose pipe, just to fill it up there. You'll see at the front we've got the folding mirrors, just like that, and the bonnet release catch on this particular model can be found just underneath, just there, to open it up. You've got a reach one for your steering wheel as well, but that's how you get to the bonnet. And just underneath, just on that little lever, will give you access underneath to the bonnet. Main things: oil, battery, screen wash. So diesel can just be found just there. So you use the main Fiat key to give you access to open that up. Habitation door, you just put the key in and twist it to give you access in there. That will open it up. On the door itself, you've got a fly screen, and we've got an awning light that you turn on from inside. So that's the outside. Let's move inside. So I've moved some of the items away so that we can see how to do it. But we've got the step switch just there, and then a couple of light switches. Above the habitation door, we've got the main control panel, and then we've got your leisure battery options. You can turn it off by putting it in the middle position. We've got the awning light switch just next. Got the pump switch. Press that on, and once the pump runs up to pressure, it will turn off. We've got the voltage in the leisure battery, and we've got the level in the freshwater tank. So pretty straightforward, pretty basic, pretty easy to navigate through. The freshwater drain can be found underneath the tank, and the tank can be found underneath the forward facing or rear facing seat. The drain is just a bung. So you pull the bung out of the tank, and that will release the fresh water from the system. That is secured in place just by twisting the top there, and that sits underneath the area just there. So that's where your fresh water is located, and then back together, all in place. 2 forward facing seat belts just located there, and then we've got storage in the overhead cupboards to that side, storage to the overhead cupboards on this side. Got a pack with some of the belongings, and we do have a separate switch. If you're wondering, you can turn the awning light on and off from there, but generally you wouldn't do that. Above, we've got the rest of the room that comes with the zip room that was supplied to us. In this little bag, there's a little infill cushion for making up this bed option just here. We've got our own light switch and our own fly screen and blind and window ventilation just there. Got the curtains to give you privacy, and on the bed itself we've got the netting that goes into the little clips here on the side to allow anyone safety from falling out of that. The ladders just clip on and remove simply if you don't want to use that, and the bed will also just push up out of the way on the grass struts either side, just like so. We've got a TV for anyone that wants to put the TV there, and then an aerial cable just there. In the silver cupboard here, you'll see that would have been the original TV point, so you can utilise that as storage. And into here, we've got the awning, the aerial. Now you'll need to turn the little booster box on. So you'll see it'll light up when you turn it on, just like so. And there's a little switch underneath to turn it off. So that is the accessibility. The boiler is located underneath this panel here. And you might not be able to see it, it's a bit dark. I will explain how to drop this, but basically just underneath this pipe here, there is a drain valve for draining down the boiler when you're not using it. I'll show you when you come to see it. It's a bit dark in this panel area here, but that is located underneath that panel. In this cupboard we have our charger, we have our switch for our electric water heater, switch for our space heater side by side, so you'll need them on to work the electric. We've got the fuses and the main RCD box just located there. So they're all together nice and neat in that wardrobe area. Bathroom area, we've got the shower that spins around, so just release that little toggle down and that will give you access to the bathroom area where we've got your hose pipe and shower hose just there. We've got ventilation above. Again, when you're putting it back down or for travelling, just make sure that that's in place and just catching over. Give it a little push, and then you'll also utilise that for washing your hands in this area. We've got heating into this area, and I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we've got the little blade valve. Just slide it that way to open the valve. I'll show you that one. Just open the valve inside. If it is open, you will not be able to remove the actual toilet cassette out of it, so just make sure it's in the right position as you want to do it. And then we've got storage in there, and the light switch just lights up the bathroom area and turns it off just there. On it, once it's full, it's only full of fresh water, guys, so don't worry, you will have your little flush button that will light up just like that. So that's for the float and the level inside the toilet cassette. We only put fresh water in there, so please don't worry. Priming the water, once the valve's shut for the boiler, you'll need to turn the tap to the hot position, open it up and pull it through the boiler. Again, you'll need to have the pump turned on. Once it's pulled through, then you can then operate the heating system for the hot water. You've got your plug there, your drainer, and an additional little charging board that sits in situ, just like that. Above it, we've got an additional socket, some more storage down this side. Again, more storage. Your main cooking facilities work off 3 gas hobs and 1 electric. They're all controlled from the dials at the front, and there's an igniter just on there, as well as a separate grill and a separate oven area. All controlled again with the functions on there. If you want to gain access to underneath, bit of storage, press the button in and press it to lock it back in place. The fridge to the side of it, we've got then either gas, you'll hear it clicking to ignite, it'll illuminate up on these little LED lights to tell you it is. Mains electric, so you can see it's gone green, and then you've got 12 volt when the vehicle is running on the bottom one. So 12 volt when the engine's running, mains when you're hooked up to mains, or gas when you're not hooked up to mains. Temperature dial on this side will allow you to then either cool it or heat it up, and we've got your little switch to open access into the fridge and the small freezer compartment, just like so. Lock it in place, just turning it the opposite way. Storage in here, we've got some little utensil holders and a little rack for your storage just there. Behind that, we've got a socket for mains and 12 volt, and we've got more storage just in the bottom area just there. So I mentioned earlier about gaining access. I'll just lift up here and show you the access underneath. So underneath, they'll lift up to give you access for storage. Again, this is your access from outside and in, and the rest of the storage on the particular area, gas locker being underneath there. So just pop them down nice and neat. So for your fire, you've got 2 forms of heating. You've got the fire that sits here, which you can just either operate using the gas, so pressing that button down turning the dial and then pressing that in until you see the little pilot light in that little area there. Once it's lit, you can release that and turn the dial round on the top to the desired temperature. Always obviously turn it off when you're not using it, and that is the gas side of the fire. To the left hand side, you'll see there's another dial here. We've got a three-way switch. So we've either got then off, heated on constantly, just on the top, heated on automatic, and the fan speed is turned and triggered by moving the little dial at the top round from the lowest to the strongest on the fan speed. When it's on electric and you've got the switch turned on in there, you can just feel the heat coming through, and then you can blow it around the vehicle. You'll see there's vents dotted around. By opening and closing these, it will navigate the heating around to different parts in the vehicle. So that is the heating. So gas, and if you want it on electric, you've got to have that switch turned on in there for the space heater. For the hot water, like I mentioned before, you've got to prime by pulling it through, and then you've two switches. On this side of it is for your gas, so turn it down to the gas and it will light if there's gas present. Turn the temperature either down or up, determining what you want. If the gas isn't lit, it will light up red to tell you that it is faulted in that area. Yep. Next to it, we've got the ultra heat. So this is the heating options on electric. Again, got to be turned on in that switch there, and you've got 4 positions: off, 0.5 kilowatt, 1 kilowatt, or all the way up. We'll do 2 kilowatt. 2 kilowatt being the strongest. Temperature of the water again can be turned down or up by turning the switch there. So that primarily is your water heated controls, and then the vehicle heating is done from there. Just again recapping that you do, if you want it on electric, have to have the 2 switches turned on just inside that cupboard with the red lights. When not in use, just turn them off. So just there, and that will automatically turn off the light on here. But again, turn that into the middle position, just there. These lights turn off just in a little rocker switch at the top there. Underneath that little compartment is where you will find your battery, your leisure battery. And on the windows, we've got the fly screens and blinds, which are the pull down blind, just like so, and then the fly screen, just like that. They're the same on all the windows. Opening the windows, just release the catches, just like so, and then open it up. You'll see on either side we'll have a little tie. Just need to tie it on either side, and that will hold the window ajar. Let's close it, just release it, close it back down, and lock it in place just like so. So making up the bed, you can do that utilising the table. I'll show you in a few steps. So the first step would be as we're normally set up for an everyday occasion, just like so. I always find it easy moving the cushions, so the next stage is to move the cushions. So with your cushions out, you'll also see we've got a little bit more storage in that compartment there. We'll pop that back down. We'll then want to slide pieces along, just making sure that you're over those 2 bits there. And then we'll put the seat bases down. This one, pretty self-explanatory, just goes there. And then we've got a thinner one here. Now that's got the infill bit missing, and that's what you will find just in this bag. What we do is place that in the situ, just makes the cushion full, and turn it over. And then we've got the next option, which will just go in. It will be quite tight, this, getting it in, a bit easier when you're not filming. And then that formulates the bed area just like that. And then as quick as that, we're back up for our everyday use. We've got a lockable glove box in the cab area, curtains to screen off just around the side. We've also got a blind that lifts up from the front to give you that extra protection. We've got electric window switches and mirror switches just there. We've got radio, reverse camera. We've got then your heater controls just here. So So we've got your different diffuser situations, hazard lights, fog lights, CD radio. Indicators can be found just on this side, and the lights just turn on and off. And then on this side, which just your windscreen wipers. Couple of charging points just down here, and another little area for storage. The seat does swivel on here, and you pull that little lever back, along with the slide bar to slide it forward will allow that seat then to slide round and be part of that area. With another main socket just there. And pretty much that concludes our instructional video. We've got a big roof light, I'll mention that lastly before we go. So just undo that, and then pull the bar towards you, and then push it up. Yeah, locking it in place, pop it back down, clip it in, and again we've got a blind and a fly screen just on there. So that concludes our instructional video. Please make sure before you leave the vehicle that you do turn the lights off individually. So just put that in the middle position, turn the lights off in the varying options just to stop any draining of the battery, and then you'll be ready to go and see wherever you are that the motorhome takes you. Thank you for watching the video. Look forward to having any comments and feedbacks from you, but most importantly we look forward to you enjoying your new motorhome. Thank you.